Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I'm talking retirement plans with you. Should you have a 401k, a Roth 401k, a Roth IRA? What should you do? Listen up, because I'm going to tell you. Also, I want you to literally stop the Starbucks. It is not a necessity of life. It is a habit, and it is a bad one. Aha. And you ask me, can I afford it?
I would like to buy a vacation, a 10-day vacation to France with my boyfriend.
Oh, of course you do. Are you sure you want to do it? Do you want to deny yourself? Do you want to deny yourself? Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. A lot of you are emailing in lately, and you know what you're asking me? You want to know, how do you pick a plan? What am I talking about? How do you pick the right retirement plan for you at work? So many corporations now not only have a 401k plan, but they've added a Roth 401k plan to it as well. So, Suze Orman, which one do you like better? First of all, the difference between the two. A 401k plan, simple, a retirement plan at work. You put money into this plan with money you have never paid taxes on. Because you've never paid taxes on it, later on in life, when you go to take it out, you will take it out and you will pay ordinary income tax on whatever you withdraw after the age of 59 and a half. In many cases, if you withdraw it before the age of 59 and a half, you will also pay a 10% penalty on it. Now, the problem is, and I just want you to think about that, as I sit here, we are currently in the lowest income tax brackets of your lifetime. And those tax brackets most likely are not going to remain. We have tremendous deficits that will cost a lot of money. And over years, in my opinion anyway, most likely tax brackets will have to go up across the board, regardless of what anybody says, to pay for these deficits. Therefore, there is a good possibility that later on in life, if you are putting money into a 401k with pre-tax dollars, it sits there tax deferred. When you do go to withdraw it, you will be in a higher income tax bracket than either you are now, or you'll be in some tax bracket where at least you know what you see is not what you get because it goes to taxes. A Roth 401k. A Roth 401k you fund with money that you have already paid taxes on. Now, I think that's great because currently we're all in relatively low tax brackets. Therefore, let's fund a Roth 401k with after-tax money. As it sits there and it grows later on in life, when you go to withdraw it, you get to withdraw it totally tax-free. So what you see is what you get. I like a Roth 401k better than a 401k. However, a caveat, I happen to like a Roth IRA better than a Roth 401k. So if you happen to have an employer, they match your contributions, you are to contribute up to the point of the match in a 401k Roth, and after that, I'd like to see you fund a Roth IRA. If you have a regular 401k and your employer does not offer a Roth 401k, okay, and they match, fund it up to the point of the match, and after the match, do a Roth IRA if you qualify. If your employer does not match, I think you're far better off doing a Roth IRA if you qualify before you do a 401k of any type. And if you do not qualify, here is what you do. And qualify means, look at the screen right now. If you have adjusted gross income above those limits, you do not qualify. After those limits, what should you do? Open up a traditional IRA, make it non-deductible, and then convert to a Roth. That is what you should do when it comes to picking a plan. Let's go one-on-one tonight with Shauna. She is 24, coming to us from Georgia, and has a question for me about her retirement accounts. Girlfriend, go for it.
Hi, Suze. Well, I have an amazing job, and I work for a fantastic company. I've been fortunate enough to be able to contribute and max out my Roth IRA and contribute up to the 100% max for my company's 401k. About a week ago, I found out that my company is now offering a Roth 401k. And it sounds really amazing, but I don't know how that could fit into my plans or my budget or how it's going to affect me.
You know, Shauna, as I'm sure you just heard me say, for you, somebody who's 24 years of age, you would be far better off, in my opinion, doing a Roth 401k rather than a regular 401k. After the point of the match, however, because your employer only matches up to about 5%, I would rather see you then do a Roth IRA, if you qualify for it income-wise, rather than anything else. So a Roth 401k along with a Roth IRA is the way for you to go. However, I've been looking through your paperwork that I have here, and I see that you also have some fears. One of your greatest fears in life is that you don't want to end up like your father. You don't want to be in a situation, correct, where you live a life where you don't have money, you're doomed to whatever it was he was in. I don't know what he was doing or not doing, but you're living with all this fear. That's the truth of the matter, isn't it, my dear Shauna?
It is. I've planned everything.
And so what I say to you is this: if you don't want to recreate your father's economic life, then you need to take a good look at what you're doing currently with your life. Because I'm telling you, as I look at yourself, you are voluntarily doing that to yourself. You're still having $100 a month of Starbucks. You're still putting away $200 a month in an account so that you can take a vacation for $2,400 a year. You still, however, have $6,000 of credit card debt. You barely have enough money in an emergency fund. You have about $4,000, maybe $7,000 with your checking account in an emergency fund. When given your expenses, you should have about $28,000 in an emergency fund. You still have a personal debt that you owe, that you took out for your father to the tune of about $4,000 that he pays back when he can, but you're responsible for that. So you're doing all of these things to get ahead, but yet you're still not being responsible with the money that you have. You're doing pretty good for a 24-year-old, but you could be doing really great, my dear Shauna. You could take true responsibility for your life and stop feeling like you have to give it away. For instance, I notice that on your expense account, you have about $75 a month that you allocate for animals that you find that need your help.
Yes.
Okay?
I rescue pets. I love pets.
Yeah, now, it's fine that you can rescue pets, but it's not fine that you're spending $75 a month to rescue pets when you don't have anybody in your life to rescue you, my dear little pet. When you have $10,000 of money that you owe that has to be paid, you owe it to credit cards and you owe it to a credit union. So when you owe $10,000 of debt, you do not have the luxury of rescuing other things when you yourself don't have the money. So if you just simply got rid of the Starbucks, the vacations, the rescuing, right there you're almost at $400 extra a month. That would literally get rid of your personal loan at your credit union in 10 months versus 4 years. It would get rid of your credit card debt in a year and a half versus the way that you're doing it, it could be 10, 15, or 20 years. So I know that you're silent. I know that you're not that you're meek, but I know that your personality is somewhat inward, or maybe it's just Suze Orman scares the bejoodles out of you, if that's even a word. But what I'm trying to do with you and everybody watching tonight is that if you have the fear that Shauna has, and you don't want to duplicate the mistakes that your parents, your best friends, your brothers, your sisters, that people have made in your life, I'm here to tell you it is the little things that count. It's the little things that you can do today to save your tomorrows. And girlfriend, it's not just about which retirement account you should have. It's about what you should spend your money on and what is really important to you and what is not. Got that?
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to ask me?
No, you have some wonderful advice like always.
Yeah. Why do you look so scared? Why does it look so painful, what I just said to you?
I know how much debt I have, I see it all the time, and I'm very aware of it, but I guess there's no real but here. But I thought, since I am 24, I don't want to spend the entirety of my early 20s not doing anything, not living any kind of life. So I thought it was okay to indulge every now and then, because I have come so far.
Yeah.
But now you're making me think that I'm completely wrong.
You are completely wrong. And you want to know why you're completely wrong? The mistake that 24-year-olds and 28-year-olds and 34-year-olds make is that you think when you get older, you're going to feel older. That you're going to feel like a 34 or 54 or whatever, and that doesn't happen. No matter what age you become, you still feel like you are 24 years of age, and you still have the energy, and you still have the vitality, and you still have those exact same desires and passions that you have right now. Oh, you'll have the exact same ones 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and so forth. So here's an action plan, my little pet. You're going to be my little rescue pet, right? So Shauna, what I want you to do is I want you to be like me. I want you to grow up and be like me, who's happy and still youthful, and I have money and I'm powerful, because that's what I want for you. So be like me. And here's what I want. I want you to have an action plan where I want you to literally stop the Starbucks. It is not a necessity of life. It is a habit, and it is a bad one. Aha. I want you to save that $100, and I want you to put it into a Roth IRA, and that can act as your emergency fund as well. I want you not to take a vacation for at least the next 3 or 4 years until your credit card debt and your personal loan debt is gone. That will be the best vacation you have ever given yourself, when you can vacate making those stupid little payments to a credit card company and the credit union. Next, I want you to slow down in terms of how you feel about real estate. I read in your paperwork that you have a home now, and you're going to get out of this home because you want a bigger, better home for whatever reason, and you're going to move to Virginia, right? Isn't that true?
I don't want to get rid of the home I have now. I want to
Yes,
hold
I
on
know.
to it.
You want to hold on to it
property.
and turn into rental property and get another one, and I don't want you to do that. You have got to make sure that you have enough working capital so that if you have a rental and you rent it to somebody, you have enough money from your emergency funds to pay for that rent in case the renter doesn't pay for you, so that when you then go and you buy another home, you can pay your own mortgages and the rent. And you may find that, you know what, renting isn't the best thing for you. You might want to sell that house, buy something outright, and take money and just invest it. So don't go out there and make the mistake thinking that rental properties is how you get rich. Rental properties are responsibility, and I want you to have liquidity and cash flow. If you can just do a few of those things, you will truthfully be on the road to wealth, and you won't have to worry, and you'll have a smile on your face rather than a face that's full of fear, because you might be like your family girlfriend. They're in their 60s, they're underwater in their home, and they owe all this money on the home. And where are they going to get $800 a month to pay some credit counselor that's certified to do this? And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy a Wii Sports Resort with Wii Motion Plus.
How are you going to pay for this Wii game?
I'm planning on taking some of it out of my piggy bank and some of it out of my online account.
All right, so you're going to break the piggy, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's go to New York, and we have Michelle on the line. What can I do for you tonight, girlfriend?
Oh, hi, Susie. It's such an honor to be on the phone with you.
Thank you.
My 5-year-old wanted you to know we were such great fans of yours.
How does the 5-year-old let you know that? Does he or she say, Mama, tell Susie, oh, I'm her fan? How does the 5-year-old let you know that?
She did. I said, you have to be quiet. Mom's going to be on the phone with Susie. And she says, oh, please tell her we're such fans. And they want can I afford it?
I love that. Girlfriend, ask me your question.
Okay, my parents are having a lot of financial difficulties lately, and they were approached by a mortgage loan officer who's also a certified credit consultant, and she had told them to put a lien, a $25,000 lien on their own home. That way they're protected by credit card companies when they don't pay the credit cards because they can't afford to pay anymore. So that sounded a little fishy to me. I never heard anything about that. And my parents are in their early 60s. They have about $70,000 to $80,000 in credit card debt, along with a refinanced mortgage of $260,000.
And are they underwater in their home?
Pretty much. I mean, they've refinanced 2 or 3 times. They're making the payments, but they just had to stop, like I said, the credit card payments because they're putting transportation costs and everything on the credit card.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: how much did the credit counselor want for this information?
$500 to $750 a month, whether it be one or both of them.
How did I know that? How did I know that? Now, let me just see if I can make sense with you. Your parents have about $80,000 of credit card debt. They're in their 60s, they're underwater in their home, and they owe all this money on the home. And where are they going to get $800 a month to pay some credit counselor that's certified to do this? Where are they going to get that kind of money? Oh, well, you don't have to answer me, because I know where they're going to get it. They're not going to get it at all, because we're not going to listen to her. And anybody watching the show tonight is not going to listen to some credit counselor that comes to you and they want $500 to $800 a month when they don't have a pot to pee in. Sarah in Missouri, you're on the Suze Orman Show.
Thank you, Susie, for taking my call. My question is, how do I begin to rebuild my credit after a bankruptcy?
How long has it been since you've claimed bankruptcy?
It's been about 1.5 years since we filed.
All right.
And both my husband and I have a low-limit credit card that we got after the bankruptcy, and we pay on time, pay it off every month on time, but our scores are still in the low 600s.
Now, believe it or not, in the low 600s isn't so bad. In the low 500s or below is really, 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 really bad.
Okay.
So you aren't doing so poorly. Now, here's the good news. You are in bankruptcy. I know you might not think it's in good news, but because you're in bankruptcy, if I have my understanding correct as to how FICO works, you are actually in a pool of people now that have also claimed bankruptcy. So they are judging you against people in your particular situation. And if you just stay clean meaning you never go over your credit limits, you always pay your bills on time, you carry very little debt on any of your credit cards, very shortly here you'll see that your credit cards will be great, and so will your FICO scores, because they will start to go up and up and up. So you're actually going to see your scores go up sooner than I think you would believe, and it won't take you much more than another year or 2 at most. Let's go to Ohio, and we have Janet on the phone.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
Fabulous, Janet. What do you have for me tonight?
Well, my question is, what options are out there for college students if they can't get a cosigner for their student loans?
Mommy, Daddy, come help me. Are you not willing to co-sign for your children?
Well, it's not. We're trying to get out of debt ourselves, and we're trying to get a new home, and the loan showing up on our credit report.
Yes. So, listen, I don't have a problem with that. The truth of the matter is, if you don't have enough money to take care of yourself, what are you going to do? You can't take a loan out for retirement. You might not be able to get a loan for the mortgage that you want to have on a house that you want to buy when these loans are showing up on your credit. So you have to be careful. Now, what does the child do? Obviously, he or she can qualify for a Stafford loan, either a subsidized and unsubsidized. They can get both of those. They can possibly get grants, possibly get scholarships. But beyond that, honest to God, the only thing that's really available to them then is a PLUS loan where a parent would have to sign for it. Now, if you don't want that on your credit report, don't go signing for it. So what should your child do? Either, and reality is reality, if they don't qualify for one on their own, which chances are they won't anymore, they have to go to a community college to begin with and then transfer over or save up the money to be able to go. Other than that, Mama, you will be signing for it. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I would like to buy a $700 junior golf membership for my 13-year-old son who loves golf.
This $700 is cutting it really close for you, isn't it? Also,
I want to go on a shopping spree.
are you married? Are you married?
I am married.
And your husband doesn't want you to do this, right?
No!
What do you want to buy?
Shopping spree.
Junior golf membership.
2010 Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Can I Afford It segment. This is where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. I am not going to judge you on that. I'm just going to look at your money and make a few funny faces and then tell you if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. Katie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime. Katie, girlfriend, what's up? What do you want to buy?
Okay, girl, this is the deal. I want to go on a shopping spree.
A shopping spree for $1,000.
Yes, and let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, I am graduating in a couple of months with my master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and I am starting my PhD program. I'll be teaching classes, seeing clients, and so I need to trade in my college wardrobe of jeans and T-shirts to more professional suits and stilettos.
Are you married? Are you married?
I am married.
And your husband doesn't want you to do this, right?
No, he thinks that I should kind of do it a little at the time.
And this is where your degree in marriage therapy is going to come in handy. You got that? Anyway, girlfriend, just show me the money and I'll tell you if you can afford it or not.
Okay, here we go. We have $5,700 in a monthly income.
Yep.
$49.22 in expenses. We have $115,000 home loan, 30-year fixed at 4.75%. $13,000 car loan at 5.5%. We have $83,000 in liquid savings, $20,000 in
Approved. I don't even need to let you, finish all that. You have an emergency fund. You have $1,000 to do it. Girlfriend, just go ahead and go for it. Jennifer, what do you want to buy?
I would like to buy a $700 junior golf membership for my 13-year-old son who loves golf.
And when you say he loves golf, does he really show you that he's going for it?
Absolutely.
So this is something where he could be a little Tiger Woods?
Well, we hope that he'll do well in the future with golf, yes.
But does he have a professional golf career in his mind?
He actually would like to be a lawyer, but he wants to play golf and possibly get a college golf scholarship.
And that would then help you save money because then he could go to school on scholarship, correct?
We hope so, yes.
Girlfriend, show me the money.
Okay, the money. Take home $4,031.
Yep.
Expenses $3,085.
Yep.
Debt $82K on a 30-year fixed at 4.9%.
Yep.
Savings $19,000 liquid and $70K retirement.
And you're 49 years of age.
Yes.
So this $700 is cutting it really close for you, isn't it?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit, yes. Not a little bit, but a lot of it, yes. I just have to ask you this question. When he goes to college, who is going to pay for it?
His father and I will be splitting.
We'll be splitting, and so you're going to do that no matter what, aren't you?
Right, and I have a savings fund already.
All right, for that. All right, everybody, here is my decision. Can you all guess what I am going to say? Oh, no, you can't, because I'm going to say you are approved, and let me tell you why. I know that you currently don't have the money for it, because sometimes I approve people, and then I get all these tweets, and people are saying, Suze, they didn't have the money. How could you have approved them? You listen to me, everybody. Not everything is fast and, and hard, just the way that it is. there are some exceptions. And in this case, if your son, my dear Jennifer, can get better, qualify for a scholarship, it is going to save you far more than $700 in the long run from what you're going to pay to send him to school. Correct? Correct. So you have been approved. You just better tell him he better win and he better get that scholarship or he's going to have to answer to me. Meredith, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I would like to buy a 10-day vacation to France with my boyfriend.
Oh, of course you do. You want to spend $2,000 to go on over to France. All right. Now, just show me the money.
All right. So my take-home income is $2,100.
So you want to work for an entire month to go over to France for 10 days. Is that correct?
I do.
Oh, God. All right. You're 25 years of age. Go on.
My expenses are $1,430. I don't have any debt. I have $11,000 in my savings and $2,000 in my 401k.
All right. So you have $11,000 liquid. So you have, in essence, you have an 8-month emergency fund. You have your money, a little money in retirement. I just have to ask you, if I told you that it would cost you $50,000 to go to France, what would you say?
I would say no way, I would not go.
All right, so then let me just put it this way. At your age, at 25, if you just let that money grow and grow and grow, it could be worth a whole lot of money 40 years from now.
That's what I was thinking.
Are you sure you want to do it? Do you want to deny yourself?
Sure.
Do you want to deny yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a vacation in a whole year. That's
you poor baby. I don't think I've had a vacation in the past 5. Maybe even longer. What is this with all of you 25-year-olds that you think you need a vacation because you worked for 1 year? Oh, please get a life. You have the money. You're approved. I hate that I have to approve you. You should not do it. However, save the money instead. Got it? It could be tens of thousands of dollars. Robin, I have now approved 3 people because they have the money. Now, I don't necessarily agree with them, but they meet the criteria of being able to go at their age. Girlfriend, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call. I'm excited to talk to you. And what I would like to buy is a 2010 Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
You, my dear Robin, you want to buy a $18,000 motorcycle for yourself?
Yes, I do. And I'm 43 years old. My partner bought a motorcycle in January.
Yeah.
And the thought was we were going to ride together. But now that we have that motorcycle, neither one of us thinks the other is a good enough driver to ride behind them.
Oh, that is just hysterical. How much did the partner spend on it?
She spent $6,500.
All right, so it's not good enough for you to buy another motorcycle for $6,500. You have to buy a motorcycle for $18,000 because then neither of you like how you drive. And if you ask me if neither of you like how you drive, neither of you should be on a motorcycle to begin with, but show me the money.
Okay, Susie, we have $9,000 in combined income.
Great.
Our expenses are $4,435 a month.
Yeah.
We have a mortgage of $70,000, 15-year fixed at 5%, and a $20,000 car loan, 3-year car loan at $883 a month at 5%. Our savings are $8,500 in liquid savings, $47,000 in investments, and $170,000 in retirement.
Denied. I knew I'd get one denied in there. Denied. It kills me that I have to deny you because I don't know if you know this, but I love motorcycles. I used to drive a Husqvarna, a Moto Guzzi, you name it, I drove it. I loved motorcycles. And then it was like, they're just too dangerous for me, so too much liability, so I don't drive them anymore. However, girlfriend, $8,000 in liquid money. You are 43 years of age. You and your girlfriend cannot be riding around town on these motorcycles when you don't have enough money. You don't have enough financial gas in your accounts to get you to where you need to go. Don't do it. Don't do it. And she should sell hers as well, and you should take that money and put it in a retirement account and continue to amass money so that you can retire one day and ride off into the sunset. Sinclair, my little Sinclair, I hear you are 10 years old and there is something that you want to buy. What is it, girlfriend?
Hi, Miss Susie. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you are so welcome. What do you want to buy?
I want to buy a Wii Sports Resort with Wii Motion Plus.
Oh, so you want to spend $49 on a Wii game. You know, my producer tells me that you've actually sent in pictures of you and playing a Wii game already. So there you are in your great little green jacket. Love that. And there you are in your red and white stripes playing tennis. But how often do you play the Wii game that you already have?
We play it with our family often when guests are here, and sometimes just for fun.
And fun. So would you say that was once a week, once, a day? How often?
About once a week.
Once a week. And would you, I always just have to ask this question to people. You're willing to spend $49, I see, on this Wii game. And I asked this question to somebody a little bit ago about a trip to France, my dear Sinclair. Would you spend $4,000 on this Wii game? $4,000?
No.
No, because if you took that $49 right now and you just put it away and you saved it and you maybe got some good market returns on it, let's say you invested it, do you know that when you were my age, or just a year or two older than me, you would have almost $4,000 rather than the Wii game that you won't even remember playing? Did you know that?
No.
All right, but show me the money, girlfriend. I want you to think about that in the meantime. Show me your money.
I have no income and no debt.
Oh, well, that's good, because if you don't have income, it's good not to have debt. And the reason you don't have any debt is because Mommy and Daddy pay for everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. But you have savings. You have $330 in savings. Where'd you get that money from?
From birthdays and also other accomplishments.
Okay, and that's a big word, accomplishments. And $47 in a piggy bank. How are you going to pay for this Wii game?
I'm planning on taking some of it out of my piggy bank and some of it out of my online account.
All right, so you're going to break the piggy, huh?
Yeah.
Going to break the piggy. Are you ready for my verdict?
Yes.
Are you ready? You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You have been approved because why? You have the money in your piggy. It's something that your family will enjoy. However, you should think about it because you can continue to change your mind and put that away and save it and have $4,000 instead, my dear Sinclair. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. Up next, Diane asked me,
Susie, how am I doing?
when you're hiding all of these emotions, when you feel so horrific about yourself, what happens? How much weight did you gain, my dear Diane?
I gained well over 100 pounds.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's talk. Now, I know that you look at your finances and you look at it right now with a microscope and you're looking, oh, I'm doing okay today. But it doesn't matter that you're doing okay today, although it's good that you're doing okay today. What matters is, are you on the right track so that later on in life, when you really get to retire, you want to retire, you have the money to do so. And the time you look at it isn't then, it's right here and right now. So you have to ask yourself the question, how are you doing? And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Diane wants to know, Susie, how am I doing?
Hi, Susie. I'm 42 years old and single. I made the mistake of lending money and in 1997 was forced to declare bankruptcy. I have worked hard to build my credit and self-esteem. I'm frugal with my expenses and live as if I weren't employed. I'm trying to catch up and want to know, am I on the right track for retirement? Susie, how am I doing?
Diane, my love, welcome to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm doing great, my dear Diane. Now, I always start this way. What grade would you give yourself?
Okay, I would give myself an A for effort, but overall, I'd give myself a B minus.
A B minus. Let's take a look at your finances, and then I'll give you the real grade you should have. All right, everybody. Diane says she's 42. She is single. She has income of about $2,500 a month, expenses of about $1,600 a month. Retirement, she has $65,000 in a retirement plan, $21,000 in an emergency plan, no credit card debt, thank God, loan debt of $19,000. So she has about $87,000 of assets and $19,000 of debt. And again, everybody, please be reminded she is 42 years of age. Now, most people, my dear Diane, might look at that and go, 42. She really doesn't have much money. Oh my God, she's not really doing well. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm giving you an A. And the reason I'm giving you an A, and everybody, you listen to me very closely right now. You got into a relationship where you took out a loan to help somebody else, correct?
Correct.
Right? And you got yourself into a loan trouble with that kind of money. You also had credit card debt, probably for that person as well.
Correct.
Right?
Cash
So,
advances.
and all
absolutely.
these things that totaled quite a bit of money, about $20,000 altogether or more?
It was more. It
How
was
much?
probably over 30.
All right, so over $30,000. Then the person leaves, and now you're having to deal with this situation and start all over.
Absolutely.
Now, normally what happens, and it happened with you as well, is when you're hiding all of these emotions, when you feel so horrific about yourself, what happens? You hold on to something. When you hold on to something, you hold it and you blow up and you blow up and you blow up and you get larger and larger and larger. How much weight did you gain, my dear Diane?
I gained well over 100 pounds. I probably gained about 130, 140 pounds.
Now, I just saw the pictures of you in the tape that you sent in. That does not look like a woman who is 100 or 150 pounds overweight.
I lost about 135 pounds.
All right. Now, did you lose that weight after you started to get control over your money again?
Yes.
Yes. Everybody, you all ask me, what does healthier have to do with wealthier? I will always tell you that money and your health are totally connected. But in my opinion, money comes first. But then, of course, it would. So here's what you need to know. The reason that I gave you an A is this. You have started all over. And you have something now. Now you have between your retirement account and your emergency fund about $87,000. Do you know that if you continue to contribute to your retirement accounts just like you're doing right now, within 25 years at just a 5% annual average rate of return, you will have at the age of 67 $900,000 in those accounts. At an 8% annual average rate of return, you would have $1.5 million. These aren't interest rates, everybody. You always ask, where do you get that kind of a rate? Please remember, stock markets go up, they go down, but over time, your return is averaged. So it is not unlikely that you can get a 5% annual rate of return or an 8% average annual rate of return over a 20 or 30-year period of time. If you just make a 5% annual average rate of return and have $900,000, that will give you close to $3,000 a month of income just from there. You will have another $2,106 from your Social Security, or that will give you $5,106 of income. Now, currently, you are living with your family, very low cost to you, and I asked my producers to ask you what happens when mommy and daddy no longer have that home or aren't alive anymore, and I was told that it gets sold and split between you and your sister, so you will be set up there and probably have enough money then to either buy a little place for you or at least have enough money to generate income if you still have to rent on your own. So if you ask me, you are doing just great. Girlfriend, if there was a grade higher than an A, I would give it to you. Next, I tackled trending topics in Ask Susie. And I said, Dad, I can solve our financial problems. You just have to raise your prices. You can charge double and we'll make more money. And you know what my dad said? Welcome back, everybody. You know, there's so many ways that you can participate in the Suze Orman Show, on the Suze Orman Show, with the Suze Orman Show. And you can see them on your screen right now, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or sending in an email. Come on, you can do it. Not so hard. You do know if you go to Twitter, I do tend to answer questions there quite often. Don't miss that. But tonight, I have an email. And the email is from Karen, 50 in New York. Here's what she asked me. She says, Susie, my husband and I are both attorneys, and he always gives discounts to his clients. We are not doing so well financially. How do I get him to charge his clients full price? Well, my dear Karen, the reason that he is afraid to charge his clients full price is because you aren't doing well financially. You know, I have to tell you, your husband is a lot like my dad. I can remember when I was growing up, my dad had a little deli, and he would serve the largest corned beef sandwiches I ever saw in my life. And so I didn't normally eat out at places, but there was one weekend when my friends and I went to downtown Chicago and we ate at another deli. Don't tell anybody, but no, we ate at another deli, and I got half the size sandwich for twice the price that my dad was charging. And I thought, oh my God, I have the answer to all of our financial problems. And I went to him just like you are going to your husband. I said, Dad, I can solve our financial problems. And he said, how, Susie, how? And I said, you just have to raise your prices. You can charge double and we'll make more money. And you know what my dad said to me? Because he always had a line outside of his deli, people waiting. And you can't blame it because they were getting so much for so little. But here's what my dad said to me. He said, Susie, I'd rather have 50% of something than 100% of nothing. And I went, oh, do you know that I still live my life like that to this day? There are many businesses that I have that, sure, I could manufacture my own books and publish them and make a whole lot more money. But I'd rather make 50% of something than 100% of nothing, because if it doesn't work, what am I going to do? Your husband is just like my dad. He's afraid, and he wants to know what he has coming in is solid. And as long as he has that fear, you have to let him just do that, because if he charges more than he feels he should be, his fear will come up more, people will feel it, and they won't want to deal with an attorney that they can feel is afraid. So how do you change that? Start bringing in more money from you. Start being better with the money that you have. Turn your financial situation around. Not all financial situations are turned around by making more money. Some of them are turned around simply by spending less. All right, that is a wrap for the Suze Orman Show. But until next week, there's only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this, ladies and gentlemen: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.